Hey, Manny.
Hey, Paul.
Yay!
Hey, gang.
Hey.
Party line.
Party
The
line.
Zoom call that never happened. Tried to experience 2 minutes ago.
Were you around when
E.
party lines were going on?
Ah,
Uh,
Yes, just not in any form, no, recognizable.
this is a party line. Pure consciousness in a chat room with itself. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Just for fun.
It reminds me of that ELO song, Telephone Line.
Good song.
I guess I'll start us off again, Michael.
Yeah. Is this from your new video?
Yeah, this is the one I did about doubt. Doubt and certainty are polar opposites of the same spectrum. In order to see through doubt, we must also be willing to see through certainty. We usually want to get rid of the parts we don't prefer and keep what we do. But seeking truth is a ride or die state of affairs. There will come a sacrifice of will to recognize the inherent willingness to see, no matter how uncomfortable that may be. We see doubt is only a protective coping mechanism, automatic. It recedes into and revolves around itself in a desperate attempt not to bleed out into the vastness of the ocean and lose its form. We are simultaneously comforted by this certainty and tortured by doubt. But what are these made of? What is this, really? Do these patterns not freely appear within your infinite beingness? Don't think about it. Look. See through thought. Seeing through thought makes us feel vulnerable. We are faced with the brutal futility of our freedom. True will does not come from thought, but the effortless primordial already. We doubt in imagination and knowing, so to not fully feel. But could imagination ever truly save you from how you innocently and authentically feel? And who says you shouldn't feel that way? Society? You can put the base assumption of autonomy under a microscope, not with thought, but with open sentient seeing. Behold the unknown. Drop the interest in these words as they drop themselves. Dare to lose interest in psychological time that promises control and comfort. What is this right now without belief in the thought that says, this is not yet this? See doubt in its true form, in the ebb and flow of life cycles, as birth and death, action and repose, all have its place already. Both doubt and certainty are expressions of pristine presence already. You, aware of all the seasons, remain unchanged and silent. In this profound wonder, let doubt be an honored guest. Let it reveal the openness that beholds all cycles of clarity and confusion. And these words aren't saying that doubt is some obstacle to get rid of. It can simply be seen through for what it is, in the timelessness of already. Doubt is a passing wind, clearing the way for openness. Instead of searching for ultimate certainty, try an experiment. Rest in the awareness that allows doubt to be. The groundless ground, unmoved, effortless, ever present, remains, as all symbols, thoughts, and seasons come and go. See what you are not, to sense what you are, the nameless. the silent witness of the mystery, as the mystery, the presence in which doubt and certainty finds a fleeting expression. What power does not yet this have without you? The end.
Wow, that was my favorite.
Oh,
So good. Beautiful. Wow.
Amazing. Packed with so much. Wow.
I could feel aspects and old energetics leaving the body. I could feel things that used to have the energetic, imaginative imprint, the emotion of doubt, but without the doubt label. So, the word doubt's being heard, and then things and it's still happening, things that are in the body, like around this head thing are all doing this now. And it's like, and there's kind of hints of anxiety. There's hints of awe. It's really powerful. So thank you for that. That's wow.
Thank you. It's very amorphous.
I love the
So
ride or
much-
die because I'm
so
always
much
like
heat.
peeling out of my motorcycle. That's badass.
I'm boiling now. It's like really
Yeah.
seriously shifted loads of
Yeah.
stuff that I didn't know was there. It's cool. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yay.
And not seeing it through thought, but just seeing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just this now. And it's like, whoa, feel that. Yeah. I wrote about doubt when I wrote my first book 10, 11 years ago. And I suggested that for every statement that we make with certainty, we only make it because we're dreadfully doubtful of the truth. It's like, listen to me, I'm correct. And damn well you're not, because it's just the play of words in yourself. Yeah. That reminded me of that so much.
Yeah, doubt is a little safety mechanism for the illusion of the individual, the personal self that doesn't exist, which is just awareness getting wrapped up in the activity of thinking and perceiving. And then there's a belief, which is just a thought that there's a separate entity independent of awareness. And it's so funny because the awareness of the doubt is the sought. So the awareness of the seeking is the sought.
Yeah.
So the one that's looking is what's being looked for, which is so sweet. And
Yeah. And ironic.
mm-hmm.
And what's behind it all is absolutely nothing. That there's like this, there is an okayness with that nothingness without perceived meaning, putting meaning into the word doubt, which creates emotions. But like how Leela was sharing that, it's like I can feel that, like what is behind doubt, absolutely nothing, meaningless. But we as humans tend to put meaning into thought, and so therefore that's when the illusion comes through. And then there's like that, like what you were saying, Jenny, that safety or that seeming safetiness.
Yeah, because it'll try to keep distracted with thoughts and doubts and problems to solve. Because in the silence, when you're completely silent and aware of being aware, you realize there is no character, there is no individual. So if you don't keep trying to problem solve, you're gonna see your naked being. It says in the chat, doubt manifests in doubtlessness. Yes. That which is aware of the doubt is doubtless.
Yeah.
Another form of avoidance, innocently though. It's just innocently.
Yeah.
I see there was a sat there the other day, and it was just, oh, we claim all these ego self, this self, this personification, personalization, individuation, and all of those are just programmed beliefs, innocent programmed beliefs for a safety mechanism. There's just a safety valve. That's all that's really appears. Oh, there's a safety valve which is given through language that then is adopted automatically with emotional sense or content, and then we're playing that out as a safety valve. And we suddenly will go, oh no, they're talking about me, when that's the safety valve. It's not an ego or a self at all. It's just a valve that says, oh, and it blows off steam until it settles down. And oh, hang on, this is me. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah. And right now, close your eyes without thought and look for an ego.
There's none.
There never has been. That's the funny part. And it's like, that's the safety, because the ego was not safe. That was like, there's a separate world. The boogeyman's real, forgetting that this is all your imagination. So the real safetiness is being aware without thought and seeing your true nature, your essential self, which is too easy, too effortless.
I fought that safety in the healing game
Mm-hmm.
for years and years. And just kind of recently just let it all go.
Beautiful.
Worry also is another one, is another avoidance, an innocent avoidance as well.
What comes to mind is the opposite, which is certainty that she brought up to. That certainty is just the opposite, polarization of doubt. And as soon as I think I know something, the doubt comes up. And it just, I mean, that's certain. That's, it doesn't take long sometimes, but sometimes it does. Sometimes we're so hard-headed and the habit is so strong that I'm not going to let go of what I think is real.
Yeah, it's the old, you can't pick up a stick without getting both ends.
Both ends. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I like that, Michael. I always refer to that in my mind. Just it's like a dog, carrying both, carrying a bone, even, that kind of a thing with both ends of it. Yeah. Mhm.
There's some practices within the kind of energy systems of the Tao where you become conscious. For instance, if I was to push the chair that I'm sat on, you can push the top of the chair, and because your mind believes it's pushing the top of the chair, it pivots on the bottom of the chair. But if you change that dynamic to go, no, when I push the top of the chair, I'm pushing the whole chair at its core, from its root, it changes, and you push the chair moves, the whole chair moves, it doesn't pivot. And it's like going deeper into the substance of something rather than just, like poking a bear. You'd expect a certain response, but if you were to approach the bear as this whole entity and weren't so much poking it, if you like, but were trying to feel the bear, be the bear or whatever, then you move the bear in a different way. That's not a very good analogy, but it's taking the objectification out, seeing it for the whole, even though you're objectifying and saying that's a chair, but seeing the whole chair, knowing that when you move, the whole chair moves, not just what the part you're touching. And I think we're all always moved wholly by things, but we don't feel that until we do. We're only moved in little bits, so jealousy or this or that. But it's not the whole experience. There's so much more to it.
For me, it felt like I couldn't really truly feel. There was some kind of buffer I thought I was feeling, but when I stopped looking, when I stopped being dissociated so much, it became much more intense.
Mm-hmm.
And then it sort of like felt appeased and calmed down, like it finally got a voice, you know.
Mm. I think I was the other way. It was that there was so much that I felt. Sometimes even a word would mean this, there'd be this huge sudden emotional eruption that I couldn't deal with. And as a boy and as a young man, there was no way I could speak that. It was just like, no, you can't do that. You can't show this emotion. And the emotion was the truth behind the words, or the experience I was having was so deep, and I could feel it so profoundly, but I couldn't. There was no way of sharing it. Like, how is it? It's like a young officer in the military. How do you share this emotional experience with people that don't intrinsically have emotions on show? It was just I used to find it so debilitating, just and then I used to feel I was wrong for feeling so much. And then little bit by little bit, there became this obvious, no, this is what you're supposed to do. Where's you've got to feel it, so feel it. And then
Yeah, I would say, Paul, that's one of the reasons that I do these Zooms, because for so long I thought I was just the odd person. Like I was somehow doing life wrong and they had it correct. And somehow it flipped. I went, wait a second. Maybe there's a reason I can't get this to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like it's like an invitation though, that felt sense that you feel. That's an invitation to go back home, or just rest and release, and Jenny was talking about that, and when we resist anything, yeah, and just going through that, just being what you are, and not allowing that to dictate anything.
Yeah. And that takes courage. I mean, like the
Yeah.
Rumi quote, the only way out of the fire is through the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just fully feeling without resistance, just completely being present, which is you seeing yourself as the absolute, and then it integrates, and then it's happiness, It just wanted to come home.
Hey, Indira, I really liked your post yesterday in my group. You said, what is behind all words?
Beautiful.
Like if
I
you
got
just go ahead.
no, I was inspired by Leela's audio. I was like, yes, 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 yes. And then I just sat there in the morning and I just wrote what came through, because what she was sharing was just very powerful, and I felt if it felt very grounding, and it was such a great pointer. So for me, it was like, what is behind doubt? What is behind jealousy? What is behind every emotion? But like what everybody was sharing, yeah, emotions, when the emotions, well, they've always been coming up. It's just that it was just, I thought I was under the belief that liberation and seeing through everything, that would take away all the emotions that come up in this avatar. And that was harder for the truth. It was just like right here, but yeah, what is behind all of that? And when I can sit with the emotion, sometimes it takes a while, but it wants to be seen and it wants to be felt. And I just call it an it because there's no word for it. What is I forgot his name, that one who was talking from England.
Paul.
Paul, thank you, Paul.
So,
Yeah, I can relate to what you were sharing, how you were saying it was just so raw, and you couldn't put words to it. In a way, that's great. No words to it, and that's part of the integration in the last, I would say, going on 2 years now. Was it November? Is sometimes emotions just come up and I don't even know what it is, but just feel through it. But yeah, getting back to what you were saying, Michael, yeah, what is behind all of that?
Well, you could look right now, like I'm watching your beautiful face speak, and I'm hearing these words come tumbling out, and I'm going, but what's behind? And there's nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely impossible to objectify anything before thought.
It's unspeakable.
Yeah. And then when you go into your actual experience without thought, you've never experienced an object, a world, and even a thought. When you dissect a thought, what is it made of? Pure, empty, open, aware being, consciousness. That's all anything is. That's what everything is.
There's a Scottish guy, David, I've forgotten his surname. He was doing quite a bit on YouTube.
I love David.
We know David.
Yeah. And he said, I think he said one day, I've spoken to him, he's lovely, he's really, really lovely. He said, how much does a thought weigh? How thick is it? And that's just beautiful. It's just, how much does a thought weigh?
We actually did a Zoom with him.
I thought you did, yeah. As I was speaking, the memory came back, yeah. He's very good, actually. He's very good at pointing. He's very, in a one-to-one basis as well. He's very good at asking, well, where is that feeling?
Yeah.
So it's like you have a word. If you claim for the word to be meaningless, why is it that when you're speaking, there's a felt sense of there's something with that word that has meaning for you emotionally? And it's like, can you see that? Where is it? Can you feel it? And what's observing that? That was a good pointer I had from him. It's like, what's seeing that then?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the illusion can't hold up to investigation.
No.
When you go to your actual experience, you've never experienced a world, a person, a thing, an object. It's just pure subjectivity, pure awareness. And even that question that you mentioned that he said about how much does a thought weigh? Well, close your eyes, and without thought, without answering with thought, how much does the body weigh? Without thought, there is no body. You've never experienced a body. There's just, yeah.
Sorry, no, I think I'd said before, and you'd prompted it, Ginny, which was the tantric aspect was the way in for me, really, if that makes sense. Because the experience has always been very deeply embodied. I'm not somebody out here with ideas and all this wonderful stuff happening. It's always been felt pain and, the heaviness of life. And, I have eight damaged discs because I've always had this weight carried through the body. And yet I didn't see that I thought that was the problem. All of this feeling, it was the problem. And the reality is when I started to feel into it, exactly as you say, there is nothing there. There is no body.
I know. You don't have
there's
discs.
No weight.
You don't have a body.
There's no weight. There are no discs.
It's amazing.
And I love it. Perhaps it sounds like the story, but it doesn't matter. It's what's here. But I was diagnosed in my 20s with this spinal condition as a soldier, and they said you won't have a full career, and you'll be a hunchback like this by the time you're 60. And so this is nearly 58 now. And I went 20 odd years in the military, and I did have to leave because of my spine. But it was the gateway into feeling. It was the gateway into letting go and then realizing there's nothing there. Even the pain that I used to suffer, as soon as you inspect it, really stay with it. It was like, there's nothing there.
Yes. It's a reference point to negate.
Yeah.
It's what you're not, so you can realize what you are. You had to have a reference point.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, my boyfriend, said when we first met that he was born with bone spurs, and I said, "You don't have bones. You've never had bones. Like that's just a belief, and you can believe the opposite, and then you render that because it's all your imagination. You can imagine whatever you want."
Yeah. I've been imagining certain changes, physical changes, more recently, probably in the last 6 months. And as a result, there's, you know, these are the experiences that you can name, doesn't matter. But as a result, occasionally when I lie down to sleep, there's the sense of it within the breath is just this rush of energy that feeds the body and changes the body and does whatever you want. When, you know, it's like the mind imagines something and it's like, wow, now I'm full of energy. And then I'm standing straighter and my spine is straightening and the
Beautiful.
scoliosis is gone. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, instead of this disabled individual, my 8-year-old grandson, who's a chunky little brute, had punched me in the face the other day for fun. We play fight, and he jumped on my neck, and I immediately jumped up and span around the room as fast as I could with him until I nearly fell over. Threw him on
Yay.
the sofa, and he was going, "Oh, Grandpa, what have you done?" And I was doing the same, and I was laughing like
That's
an 8-year-old
beautiful.
boy because I had no fear in my spine. I had no fear in this thing that had been debilitating for since I was
Wow.
13 years old. And it was just like, yeah, that's what I remember.
That
Yeah.
is beautiful.
And
Yeah, the more you're aware that you are pure, immortal, formless, non-physical, non-objective, infinite consciousness, you realize you don't have a body. There's never been a physical form, and there's never been time, and that instantly heals the body because there is no body to heal. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Placebo is powerful.
as powerful as nocebo. Have you heard the opposite? Which is really we live, don't we? There's in this system of that this is belief, and if you believe it, it becomes your reality, rather than go away and find out what belief is and make reality for yourself.
That's awesome.
And even when you have anxiety, if you can look at it without the mental filters, it feels just like exhilaration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's someone had said the only thing between fear or terror and bliss is the mind.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is the mind.
Yeah.
Alexis, that is so gorgeous.
Thanks. It just came up and I've been trying to erase it this whole time. So thank you for saying that. I'm like, what is that?
That's funny.
You
Yes,
paint.
it's a painting of mine that just sort of popped up as a background.
I love it.
Oh, how funny. I love it.
You're not.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
When we say
Hi,
you're not,
family.
hey, when we
Yay.
say you're not the doer around here, we're not kidding.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then every word in that statement, you are not the doer. None of those make any sense. Like none of them refer to anything.
So dualistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could like feel into it. What feels like it needs to be the doer? Like feel that, like the boss, that sense of wanting control.
Mm-hmm.
And you could ask why. Why do I think I need control?
Because I'm afraid. And I don't need to be. Yeah. last night I was at a meeting, and across the table from me were two father and a mother of a boy, and I was speaking to him and other people on the sides, and then all of a sudden, when I was speaking to him, this vertigo. Have you ever had vertigo?
Yes.
Your world starts spinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what happened. I hadn't had it in over a year or so, but I just kind of noticed it. I kept on, they never even noticed that this was going on for about a minute or so, and then it just kind of went away. But I was just there, and I guess I felt it, and I knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of allowed it to do what it does, and it just kind of faded.
Hmm.
And that's what you guys are talking about. It's like, don't go into the fear about it, or this torment, or this negativity to perpetuate it. It just passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just happens, stuff
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yeah, I thought it was fun when it happened. I was like, whoa, this is cool.
When
I
you're by
couldn't,
yourself,
yeah.
it's easier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You start to understand when they say, "Oh, I felt like the walls were closing in," and it's like sometimes when the walls move in your periphery and everything's just doing something like this, and it's like you look and then they solidify again, and you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like those moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time staring at objects when I was a seeker and like completely sober. And if you stare at something long enough, it'll start to wiggle and you'll be like,
Vibrate, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the technique, because I qualified as a hypnotherapist about 12 years ago, and that's one of the techniques that you use, knowing that from the rods and the cones in the eye, that they will do different things. If you stare, the subconscious starts to want to see more, and so it kind of comes in. So you get a tunnel vision as the subconscious. So me, myself, I, this is feeding more of the experience back in through the eyes, and it's just that everything, you can have this tiny spot and everything around it is dancing and moving, and
yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, this morning I woke up from a dream that was crazy. And I woke up feeling um, there was some anxiety. And so I just laid there and I just tuned into what is obvious. What is obvious? And the sound of the fan, the hands on the chest, and the rising of the chest. And all of a sudden, I just felt so much. I was like, oh, it was like, that was just a dream,
Mm-hmm.
Such a movement to the obvious, the simple things, the obviousness, what is real. And this is what's real right here, sitting here like this. And in that moment, which of course is just a story from this morning, just putting the attention on the hands and the rising of the chest, and it was like, woohoo, it's not real. It's real. And there was this calmness, this peace that's always been here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It seems to be like a practice, like an intuitive practice that I've been doing for a couple of years now. But what is obvious? You know, a story can come up or memories can come up, but what's obvious right here? Computer.
Right here, right now.
Yeah. And it's not frightening anymore.
That's why I say we're like children. We believe in the boogeyman.
Yeah.
What I love about my two grandchildren, they're both on the neurodivergent side, as am I, as am most of my children, actually, as my father was, you know, blah, 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 blah. But they're, you know, the way that we interact has to take that into consideration. So I have a picture of kind of it's a Buddha. There's a Buddha statue in the background, and then all this beautiful, it's a photograph actually. But the focus is play. There's a lot of play with the focus. So it's one of those pictures, photos that you can sit and look at, and the focus plays with you whilst you're looking at it. My granddaughter looked at it for the first time. I don't understand that, Grandpa. And I said, what's that? She said, I don't understand that picture. Either the man is there or he's not there. What is it doing? She was looking for the certainty behind it. You know, it's like, it's not black, it's not white, it's all these things. And she wanted this certainty. And it's echoed with my grandson. If for instance, as I say, he likes to play fight, and sometimes he catches me unawares, and I'll say to him, listen, mate, there's a time and a place. You've got to know the time and the place. And then I playfully give him a tap in the face like this. And we have this little backwards and forwards. And then I'll say, if you don't pack it up, you won't be having your tea tonight. And he'll go, no, but I'll starve. And he knows that I'm not going to take his tea away. But in that moment, he's like, he's going to take my tea away. I'm going to starve. And he goes into this catastrophic thinking event. And I say, no, of course I won't. Of course I won't do that. And he's like, oh, but I've said things to him in the past before I really understood that, how deep it was. And he's started to cry. It's like, what? It's like, no, it was a joke. And his imagination wasn't prepared for the joke. It's like, no, can't do that. The abstractness of it, you know, it's like, no. And similarly, when they both try to tell jokes, that's even better. The imagination can't get there.
That's cute.
Have you ever seen that painting of Jesus where if you look at it a certain way, it looks like his eyes are open or closed?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Send that to me. I want to see.
I have to find it. Or one of those posters like in the 90s where you had to look at it, like you had to look through it to see the through the psychedelic.
Yeah.
Can I show you a painting I did recently? Just grab it off the wall. See what you think. It was at a time of quite emotional angst.
Wow.
Cool.
So there's like lots of me in there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It was the
cool.
searching, seeking.
Beautiful.
It was like this. Oh, where am I? Where am I?
Wow, I love abstract art.
I like it.
It looks familiar. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me too.
Oh wow.
If I find what it is the trigger in that, I'll try to send it to you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in an alternate reality, it's hanging in an art museum right now.
Yeah, totally.
That must be it.
By a famous artist named Paul.
Yeah. Do you know, I'm going to try and bring my grandson on one of these, because he is so into the VR reality idea. He's like, oh yeah, I know this is a VR, you know, he said he knows it.
Wow.
And this week he said, I think there are multiple dimensions, and one of those dimensions could be like back rooms. And he says, I really do think that there are all those dimensions there, and that if we were really interested in going to them, we'd just be able to go to them. And I was just,
what the hell? I know every time you talk about him, I'm like, I want to hang out with him. Like, he knows what's up, dude.
Yeah,
what the hell?
He's just, it just hits me with these things, and it's his imagination is blinding. You know, it literally does stop. It stops all the thought, and you just, whoa, and you can really see where he's going, and then he's just off again. Then he's off being, you know, an 8-year-old boy wanting to fight.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. Because everyone already knows this. That's why it's in every movie and every song and this is already awakened. This doesn't need to be awakened. This is.
Yeah. I've really been spending a lot of time going through that. It is imagination, but also it's like, well, imagination of what, where, and when, you know, that's the beauty of it. But seeing how, if we follow the analogy of a virtual reality existence, seeing how each piece of this it's the quantum reality engine. Each one is part of the engine projecting itself as part of the projection. You know, the haptics, it projects the haptic suit. It says, look at this body. And you can feel with it. And it's like, but it's a projection within the projection anyway. And you can see how a word that carries emotion shifts everything. It's everything responds because of that word in the emotion. It's like nothing's ever still. Everything's always moving to fulfill that. You know, it's like, oh, there's that emotion. That means this happens. And yet you're there witnessing the whole thing whilst being the whole thing in the movement still, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think I do know what you mean.
It's just, yeah.
Because when you believe that somehow you have something to hide from the world and you've done something wrong, it colors everything, you know, the shame. And it's just a thought believed.
It's like a main computer of infinite data files, which is like memory, ready to render on the fly in an empty potential superposition. And then, so the perceiving is assuming. So you're assuming from data, memory, information. Like when you drive up to your house, it wasn't there before. You're imagining it. You're rendering it on the fly, and then you assume that your children will be inside and it'll look the same, and then you render that. I mean, yeah, you're God imagining this right now. You're imagining all of the faces on the screen. All the faces of the screen is your imagination.
Well, I gotta say, I got a good looking imagination.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, sometimes I'll see some beautiful creation that somebody else did, and I have this weird experience now where it feels like it's mine somehow, even though I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I get that. I think I shared once, I had this kind of 2 hours peak experience where every single thing that I knew about the me was God, and everything that I was experiencing was mine. My offspring, my creation. There was no understanding how that didn't come into it. It was just full on absolute knowing that this is me and it's all mine and all my children, and of course it's love. Of course love is the basis for it all. How can you not? That's all it was. And it was just like this crying, continual crying and joy.
That's it. That's the beauty. Yeah.
Look at it, yeah.
And that's why you want to dream. That's why you want to imagine, is the joy of creation, like the joy of having a baby, giving birth. Yeah.
I had a similar experience these past days. I'm raking leaves, right? There's just tons of leaves. And of course, why am I raking leaves? What's the problem? There's, well, neighbors, I live with neighbors and I rake them for them. But I don't get rid of a lot of them. I make dirt, over the years they make dirt when I put them aside the fence. But I'm raking them, and it's become sort of like a Zen experience. I'm looking at each of these leaves, and they're like me. They follow a season. They're cooked. They're done. The body is the same, and then I realize, oh, that's a nice story. And then on and on, and it's just like my cousins, and they're beautiful, and it's just it was really fun.
Yay.
Yeah. And then you see through the thought that says, well, in order for me to have arrived, this must look a certain way, and then it's over after that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I have arrived doesn't make any sense anymore. It's like,
Yeah, I never left. Mm-hmm.
Or I found doesn't make any sense.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Or discovered.
Yeah, the words don't refer to anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bird tweeting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't stand apart from yourself to have a subject-object relationship.
But you get to have that too, the experience of it.
Mm-hmm. And have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
Could play in the dream.
Yeah, just like a child playing with imaginary friends. Even, that appeared real, and that was exciting.
And then it's gone, and then it's just a memory.
Yeah. I guess the imaginary friend was a clue, huh, Ginny?
Yeah, that's all the clue. Everything's an analogy and a metaphor to point to itself. Everything is. It's amazing.
It's gorgeous, Alexis.
Thanks.
I love it.
The top part looks apocalyptic.
Yeah.
That's my projections.
Yeah. Something's taken over there.
Cool.
Something's taken over.
Yeah.
Polly came to town.
I came to town.
Yeah.
Sometimes when
Totally.
I crumple a piece of paper, I can actually see like faces in them, or I guess that is the imagination. But I remember a time when I would just crumple up papers and just stare at the creases, and it would turn into like a body part or a neck, or I don't know how you would describe that kind of art, but
what do they call it? There's a word
origami.
I don't know, but I started doing that like 18 years ago. I was like, this is fun,
Yeah.
Start seeing things differently.
Do you guys know about the Rorschach test?
Yeah.
The Rorschach psychiatrist would show you ink spots, and you have to tell me what you see, and everybody sees it differently. Oh yeah, I see this and that, and it's just interesting how you can look at Alexis's painting and see, like, I thought those were flowers at the top.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then somebody will tell you what they see, and then you'll see it.
Yeah. And then I'd like to go back to what I saw. It's like, I don't want to see what you saw. I like what I saw first.
You can see that.
I used to do, I was a cartographer in the military for a few years. And we used to look at satellite imagery in stereo pairs through these stereographs like that. And as soon as you look down with the right overlap, you would see the mountains. You could see all the beautiful detail as if it was real in 3D. But you would sometimes drop into pseudoscopy, where it would flip upside down. So instead of the mountain being the peak, all of a sudden it was the valley. And once you'd seen it, you had to go away for an hour, take a break, get a coffee, because your brain wouldn't unsee it. You couldn't do the job.
Yeah.
oh, so you'd pretend that you'd get an hour break. Oh, everything's gone pseudoscopic, and you'd just go off for an hour and take a break skies.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that in art school too. The teacher would say, "All right, let's reset our eyes," and we have to walk away from the painting and walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you come back and you're like, "Whoa, what the hell? This is so cool."
Totally.
Yeah.
And you know immediately what it needs after that.
Mm-hmm.
Such a metaphor, like the brain sort of makes a decision about what this reality is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, wait a sec.
I like the fact that, as you, Ginny said, that everything's a metaphor or pointing back, and it's like, what decided to be the first color, the first brushstroke on the paper, and what makes the last one the last one? The story
Yeah.
or the journey of the first to the last piece, to the beginning to the end. It's just that itself could occupy a lifetime, just trying to understand, why this and then this.
Yeah.
And the same with the.
Even when it's done, right? How do you know, Paul, when the painting's done?
Well, it's still curing, isn't it? It's drying and curing and changing. The sunlight affects it, and it's like the leaves on the tree.
But you just know, right,
Yeah.
Alexis? When it's done, you just know. You put the brush down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no one to know, but there's a last brush stroke for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll take a picture of my painting. That really can help me look at it in a different way, or like add some effects to it, and like look at it really close. And I also have like a magnifying glass, you know. That's like a whole other trip.
I used to do miniature sketches, so something no bigger than, say, I don't know, like a phone, and they would be full-blown pictures, and I'd do it all with a tiny pencil under a magnet.
That's so awesome.
Oh, cool.
And I don't know why I used to do that. I was just fascinated. I think it was, the search for deeper meaning. Even then, as a teenager, it's like, how deep into this can you go? What is beneath the surface? What more is there? Yeah, I used to love that.
I saw in a Smithsonian years ago, and they were focusing on a historic thing they used to do in the late 1800s, where they'd collect butterfly cells, and it was a microscopic art, like a bouquet of flowers.
Oh, wow.
I mean, smaller than the head of a pin. It was really amazing.
That's beautiful.
This is art, all of it.
I do have some pictures somewhere. When I used to live in Portugal, you would find these little flowers, and they were no bigger than literally this. And it's 5 or 6, say, blue petals with a little white center. And I would pick this little bouquet of flowers and then take a photo, just my fingers and the flowers. And you'd get purple ones and lilac and light blue. And they were beautiful. Just tiniest miniature flowers, as if it was a full bouquet. I love it. Yeah, that's amazing. Butterfly cells.
Yeah. This imagination is gorgeous. Yeah, I love like at the lake looking at the birds' feathers, and what a work of art it is. It looks like a painting. It's just stunning.
Yeah.
I use the words zoom in and out as like a metaphor for like the backward step and, being hypnotized by the mind.
Yeah, it is like an aperture, like a lens.
I have to show you another picture now, this is one my daughter Evie did when she was 10, and it is a painting of her younger sister, who was 7.5 at the time.
What?
Wow.
Wait,
7.5. Damn,
So
that's good.
this is
That
Alba,
long.
who was 7.5 at the time, and her
Wow.
her
Wow.
9-year-old sister
Wow.
painted that. Yeah,
That's gorgeous.
Whoa.
it's beautiful,
That's
isn't it?
really
Beautiful.
good. Wow.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, she is in her own sense, she really is a bona fide artist. But of course, she would never call herself that, which is kind of proof of it. No, my art's no good, and I'm not very good at this, and I'm,
Isn't that beautiful? That's just, I love that about artists, you know?
the first time she sketched with a pencil, where she sat down and decided to sketch something. She sketched a woman's face, and she said, "Oh, I've had a go at sketching," and I was just, I cried, immediately cried. I was just, how can you get that? How is it possible for you to do that on your first go?
Yeah.
And it's like watercolors. She painted an amanita mushroom, the red mushroom with a white cap, with a mouse living inside of it, you just out of her imagination in watercolors, and it was beautiful. I did a course in watercolor painting, and I struggled. I was very technical and very mind orientated. There she gets, first time she touches them, and I'm just, okay, that's just amazing.
That is beautiful.
And at the moment, it's hair. It's her hair. She has a fringe like yours. She's cut it really high, and she's got different shades of stuff. She bleached her eyebrows the other day, and then 2 days later, like that, and she's dyed them again.
I'm gonna hang out with all of them. They sound so cool.
She's got this big ring in her nose, and but she's just nonstop. She sleeps all day and is awake all night playing guitar and on.
Total artist, total freaking artist.
Yeah. And I'll say, you were talking to someone. Yeah, it's such and such from America. It's like, who's that? Oh, we talk at least every day. It's like, okay. And then there's people all over the world that she just, hang out and we'll have 3 hours and we do this. It's like, yeah. And I'm not trying to change a thing. And that's what I think about me, that I've, all this change, whatever it is that's so amazing, is I'm not trying to change anything anymore. It's
beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Whatever happens, and it's just not that there was anybody ever there to do anything anyway, but it's just like, it's so cool. She got drunk, blind drunk. All of her friends were here. She's wobbling around, and she stands up, and I'm looking, and she said, "Oh, so what? I'm drunk. It won't matter in a week's time, so it doesn't matter now." And I just went,
exactly.
I walked upstairs and got in my bed, and I laid there for a while, listening to them, some of them falling down the stairs, some of them being sick, and I was just smiling and thinking, it's amazing. They can deal with this,
Yeah.
They don't need me. If they need me, I'm here as a spotlight. And it was lovely because there's just nothing, not that if there had been emotion there anyway, but there was just nothing. It was just beautifully, calm and serene. And it's like, and this is going on with a house full of teenagers being drunk and sick and panic attacks. And it was just like, this is so cool.
That's so fun. Yeah, non-resistance.
Yeah.
Because saying no to experience is suffering. Saying yes to experience is enlightenment. And awareness only says yes.
Yeah.
And imagine right now, no past, no future. Nothing to change, nothing to heal, nothing to fix. Total freedom. Total perfection.
Yeah.
That's how it is, yeah. And that's how I raised my kids. I took notes of what not to do, what my parents did. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And I was totally non-resistant. I knew that if I shamed them or whatever, it would create shadow work. So there was none of that. I just worshiped them. Absolutely. And they're like the coolest freaking kids. Like, it's amazing. No resistance.
I can see because I've got 7 children, and I can see the difference in me reflected in them through their ages, from 39 down to 12, and I can see the changes that went through, here through each of those, and how it's like, I don't use the shame. I don't use that word disappointment. I don't say, oh, I'm really proud of you, or well done. I don't do any of that anymore that I used to. It's like, no, I'm not taking that away. It's like, how do you feel about it? Oh, well, I feel, well, isn't that beautiful?
Cool.
And that's been amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah, the journey of being a parent. That's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Paul?
I'm in the East Midlands, so near, I don't know if you know England at all, but a place called Nottingham.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very multicultural. There's about 220, 230 different languages spoken in the city. Most of the cities in the UK, it's like that. We're yeah, so multicultural. People don't understand it. They really don't recognize it. Yeah, I lived in Sheffield for a while, which is an old steel city, and there was, I think the population is only like say 450,000, and there was 252 languages spoken in that city.
Wow.
Yeah, this land of England is not what people think it is from the outside. They don't realize how, how many cultures are represented
I
here.
know. I want to go over visit in my
Anyone's
imagination.
welcome anytime. Anyone, you want to come over, you let me know. You say.
Yay. I
How
know.
Yeah.
far are
I'll
you
hit
from
you up.
Manchester? How far are you from Manchester?
I am, yeah, I mean, it's across the country, but it's only probably about 100 miles, not even that. So not far. Do you get into Manchester often?
For 19 years, that's all I flew to because I loved
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you go all over, don't you, Indira?
Yeah, I can if I want to now, but for some reason I just don't have the desire to go internationally anymore, like being home or being here.
Yeah.
Homecoming.
You're not
But
going anywhere anyway.
the body's
No.
just tired of it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
My second wife was an air hostess, so
yeah.
she traveled a lot, was tri-fleeted, did international long haul, short haul, medium, and I got to go to a few places. So yeah,
That's
it's
fun.
not the on face value, it's not the wonderful life everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
The emotional labor aspect of it, that's
Mhm.
incredible. That's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the dark side, of dirty men, slimy men
Holding back
touching
from
you.
punching people.
Yeah.
Indira, I think about you with
For
that.
people's expectations. Yes,
Yeah.
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 And dear, do you have any cancellations? How'd you deal with them?
No,
Just
a lot of other a lot of other my other flight attendant friends said I don't care. I mean, if I get a cancellation, that's great because they'll pay for it and I'll come home. So,
Heck yeah.
but yeah.
that's great.
I do remember that first feeling of I was going to pick a friend up from the airport, and I'm stood there, and it's like it's not quite deja vu, but you would kind of put it in that category of looking around and going, why is everything so familiar? Why have I been here before? And then it was, you never left, you didn't go anywhere.
You're going
It's like, what
nowhere.
are you talking about? You've traveled, you're picking someone up. It was so funny. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Any last comments or questions before we close out today?
Love you, man.
Thank you,
Love
guys.
you. Love you
Thank
guys.
love all of you.
Thank you.
Take
Mwah.
care.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.